In the shadowy outskirts of a forgotten village stood an ancient crumbling house. Its walls sagged, its floors groaned underfoot, but the most unsettling feature was the window in the uppermost room. A single warped pane of glass stared out over the overgrown fields like a cataract-clouded eye. Locals whispered that the window was alive, watching all who dared come close. They called it the old window. Eleanor, a recently widowed woman, moved into the house despite the warnings. "Nonsense," she muttered, brushing off the villagers' grim tales. After her husband's sudden death, she needed solitude, and the house's cheap rent was perfect. The first night passed quietly, though Eleanor couldn't shake the feeling that the upper window loomed over her. By the second night, the creaking floorboards above her head made her restless. She told herself it was just the old house settling, but sleep eluded her. On the third night, Eleanor climbed the narrow staircase to the attic. Her candlelight flickered, casting shadows that seemed to writhe on the cracked walls. The window was larger than she'd imagined, taking up nearly the entire back wall. The glass was mottled and thick, distorting the moonlight. As she stepped closer, the reflection in the glass shifted. It wasn't her face staring back, it was her husband's. Startled, she stumbled back, but the reflection remained. His expression was mournful, his lips moving silently. Trembling, Eleanor leaned in, placing her hand on the cold glass. "Is it really you?" she whispered. The reflection nodded, mouthing the words, "Help me." Eleanor's heart raced. How do I help you?" Suddenly the glass seemed to ripple, like water disturbed by a stone. A shadowy hand reached through, gripping her wrist. She screamed, struggling to pull away, but the hand was impossibly strong. As it dragged her closer, her husband's reflection shifted, revealing something else. A grotesque, eyeless creature with a wide, gaping mouth. "No!" Eleanor shrieked, clawing at the wooden frame, but the window began to devour her. Her body was swallowed whole, leaving no trace behind. The next morning, the villagers noticed a faint silhouette in the attic window. It looked like Eleanor, her face twisted in a silent scream. From then on, two figures could be seen in the glass, the widow and her husband, trapped forever in the grasp of the old window. No one dared move into the house again, but sometimes on quiet nights, the villagers swore they could hear faint, anguished whispers carried on the wind.